Hello and welcome. Michael here from Hunt for Habit, and I'm going to be taking you through the 7 habits that took me from slobby to shredded. Let's get into it. One thing to mention first before we get stuck in is that this photo was taken 10 years ago. The game of growth, habit formation, mindset improvements, and fitness are all games that take a long time to play. I'm still playing my game. You'll see a lot of other fitness influencers still playing their game. You never finish the game. You just get better at it. Another thing to mention is that this photo was taken the day after I got back from my first and only lads holiday in Magaluf. Trust me, I'm as surprised as you guys are. I am not, and certainly was far from the type of person that would go on a lads holiday. I desperately wanted to be that person, but that stemmed from a deep insecurity, inadequacy, a feeling of wanting to belong somewhere and be validated by people. I didn't feel accepted because I had such a low opinion of myself that I thought that other people had that same opinion of me. Which ultimately brings me to my first habit: upgrade the way you talk to yourself. It is so important. Your brain is being wired by everything you consume, everything you see, everything you do, everything you say, everything you hear, which includes everything you say to yourself. The way you think about yourself, the way you talk about yourself to other people, the way you view yourself in your head. Everything, every piece of data you feed into your brain, whether it be external, consumption of social media content, or internal, it is going to have a profound effect on the way you live your life and the way you feel about yourself. Start catching yourselves in these negative thought patterns and change the narrative. Start being kinder to yourself. Start being more empathetic to yourself. Start treating yourself the way you would treat somebody you love, care for, and respect. Because you deserve that same love, you deserve that same respect, and you deserve it to come from you. Habit number 2, start being aware and start making decisions based on the person you want to become. James Clear in Atomic Habits, great book. If you haven't read it yet, please get to it and read it. It's life-changing. Don't ask me why, just read it. Atomic Habits, James Clear. There's a fantastic quote in the book that says, "Every action you take is casting a vote for the person that you wish to become." This is an identity shift. This is not a quick fix. It's not something where you can click your fingers and things just happen. I've just pulled up the rest of the quote. It's, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity." Start voting for that person. Start making decisions based on that person you want to become. The moment you start doing that, you're in the right direction to become that person. Habit number 3, stop waiting to start on Monday. This is one of the worst approaches you can have when it comes to starting a plan, starting a new regime. Stop waiting. Why would you wait? There are 2 main reasons why I would say this is one of the shittiest mindsets to have when it comes to starting something new, especially a fitness plan. Number 1, it implies a lack of commitment. And number 2, it implies that you require the perfect circumstances in order for you to stay on track with the plan you're about to carry out. You don't need to start perfect. Start now, get perfect later. Worry about perfection later. Starting now doesn't mean stopping this video, going to the gym, pumping out a session, getting exhausted, coming back and eating chicken and bread. It doesn't mean that. Starting now could mean grabbing a pen, grabbing a notepad, and writing down 3 habits that you want to stop doing. That's starting. If that's all you did today, that is good enough. That is a start. I'm not saying go all in, 100% all or nothing. Just start. Worry about the perfection, worry about the logistics later. Just start. Start creating this new person by making your decisions from now based on the person who would make those decisions. Habit number 4, track your food. This is so important because if you don't have at least a couple of years knowing the calories, knowing the macronutrients in different quantities of food, and you're just eyeballing, that is a recipe for disaster, pardon the pun. It's a recipe for failing. And that's just how it is. And I don't necessarily mean just gaining loads of weight. You could be seriously under-eating, and that is also a problem. Both ends of the spectrum are bad. So you need to build up a knowledge, build up experience in working with food, tracking with food, so you know what is going into your mouth. This is going to give you all the data that you need to know how many calories to eat to build muscle, to gain weight, or to lose weight, you need to build a knowledge base where you know what the calories, what the macronutrients are in certain quantities of food. That is so important because 200 to 500 calories either way can mean you're in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. And for most people, they don't realize that 200 calories can come very quickly. 500 calories can come very quickly depending on what types of food you eat. It is crucial that you gain that knowledge first before even thinking about intuitive eating. Now, some people do have an issue with tracking calories, and I understand it can exacerbate or create eating disorders. But this is where you have to be mindful and have to be aware. Don't obsess over it. Just use it as a tool to educate yourself. Just use it as a tool to find out how much protein is in 100 grams of chicken. How many carbohydrates, how many calories are in nuts. That shocks a lot of people. A lot of people don't realize that nuts are very calorific. There's another part to habit number 4, and that is tracking your training. That is another crucial element on this journey. I'm not going to talk about it now just because that's a whole other video. And if you do want to see that in the future, please like, comment, share, subscribe so you can catch that in the future. Habit number 5, have and stick to non-negotiables. At least one. If that's all you can handle, fine. If that's all that's realistic for you to stick to, that's fine. Now, what do I mean by non-negotiables? I mean something that you are going to stick to every day, every week, depending on the frequency at which you set yourself to do this non-negotiable, but you have to stick to it no matter what. So that means it needs to be realistic. It needs to be something that regardless of what is happening in your life, regardless of the hardship, regardless of where you are, you can still stick to it. An example, one really low bar, let's say 5,000 steps. You're going to stick to 5,000 steps a day, no matter what happens in your surroundings. Another non-negotiable you can have is go to the gym 3 times a week. No less. Any more is a bonus, but no less than 3 times a week. Whatever you choose your non-negotiables to be, you must stick to them. This is about having integrity. You're not doing this for anybody else. You're doing this for you. You're doing this to prove that you do the shit you say you're going to do. Alex Hormozy has a fantastic quote on this, and he says, confidence doesn't come from shouting affirmations in the mirror. It comes from building a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. It's just stacking proof. In 3 years' time, if you've been to the gym for 3 days a week, for 3 years, at the end of those 3 years, you can confidently say to yourself, admit to yourself and to other people that you are the type of person that you are the person that goes to the gym 3 days a week. It's obvious when you look at it like that. It's doing the same simple things over and over and over and over and over again until you can stand there and say, I am the person that does this. Can you see now how it's starting to be an identity shift? It's really as simple as that. It's not an easy process, but it's simple. So start creating the evidence that you are who you want to be, so that you can, in the future, say, you are that person. You don't want to be, you're not longing to be that person. You are that person because you have built enough evidence, enough proof that you are that person. Habit number 6, bring somebody along with you. Absolute game changer. If you can find somebody who is as committed as you, who is as willing to hold you accountable as well as hold themselves accountable, and vice versa, you have somebody to lean on. Especially at the start. That was something that helped me so much at the start of my journey. Myself and my brother, we did it together. And we made it fun. We made it something that we could both do, we could both feel an achievement for, and we could be proud of each other because we knew what we both were going through. We weren't doing it alone. We had no clue what we were doing. We didn't have coaches. All we had was the internet. And I know how vastly overwhelming the internet can be, especially when you're trying to figure out and find information on fitness and the best way to do things. It's an absolute minefield, and it's almost not worth looking up if you don't know where to look. So having somebody there when you have nobody is a game changer. Okay, habit number 7. And I'm going to finish on this one because I believe that this is probably one of the most important out of the 7 that I've given you today. Do not rely on motivation. Be disciplined. Recognize that you're not going to be motivated every single day. Progress is not linear. You're not always going to be going in an upward trajectory. There are going to be days when you feel like shit. There are going to be days when you feel like you don't want to continue. especially on journeys such as fat loss. There are times where you're going to become fatigued. There are going to be times where you're going to question yourself. There are going to be times where you're going to plateau. There are times where you might not make any visual progress and you might get really downhearted. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust that discipline is the thing that gets you there. The difference between who you are now and who you want to be is what you do. The things that you do are what make you. Much like what we said earlier, it's changing your identity. It's making sure that you are acting, you are making decisions in line with the person that you want to become. So if you are still acting upon impulses and acting and making decisions based on the person that you are now, that is not the person that you're going to be, the person that you can be if you make better decisions. You see where I'm going with this? You need to be disciplined. You need to get up when you say you're going to get up. You need to work out when you say you're going to work out. You need to build that confidence. Can you see how all of these 7 habits are linking together? You need to build and stack enough evidence that you can confidently say you are the person that you want to become. So start making those decisions. Be disciplined. Work hard. Habits aren't handed out. They are hunted down time and time and time again until they become part of you. You need to allow these behaviors to become so automatic that they are effortless. And I can promise you, 100%, you can do it. And you deserve to do it. So start making it happen. That's it. That's the last habit. That's habit number 7. I hope you have gained some insight into what it really takes to start a journey like this. I would love to help you. So if you like, comment, share, subscribe, get the message out there to everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.